Okay, just let me know if some issue is there or something like that, just keep speaking, so I'll be sure that you are able to hear me. So, uh, this session is related to system hacking. Nothing what you missed everything, right? Not even this first slide was audible for you,
Yes, sir.
correct?
It was not. Yeah.
Okay, so basically system hacking is something where the attacker will once he has gained access to your network, he'll try to probably uh, what we can say, he'll try to enter into one of the system, and he'll do that using these methods of system hacking. Now, there are certain goals for system hacking. One is gaining access, obviously, to exploit the system, and for which there are different types of password attacks. So, those are non-electronic attacks, active online attacks, passive online attacks, and offline attacks. So, we'll see those types of attacks in the further slides, and then we'll try to understand then. So after performing this password attacks, so second goal will be escalating your privileges. Now, what do you mean by escalating privileges is basically it will try to, let's say if he has gained access to any admin account and he wants to stay into the system for a longer period of time. So what he'll do is he'll take any of the other user account, and then it will try to escalate that privileges of that particular user, so that whenever the attacker who is there, he'll have those escalated privileges, and then he can perform the admin level access. Or otherwise, if he has this if he has got access to the normal user account which does not have that much of rights, then it will try to get access of the admin account, or he'll try to perform operations of the admin account, or crack that admin account password, something like that. So this is called as escalating privileges. But usually what happens is he will try to gain the admin account admin account credentials, crack it into and get it into the system, and then probably escalate privileges for any other normal user. Then comes your executing applications. So this is where the attacker will try to install any backdoor or something like that, and he'll try to, because he wants to maintain access of of the network and system. He wants to be into that system and into that network for longer period of time. So for that he will install a backdoor, and this he'll do is by executing some malware, or rootkits or something like that, so that whenever he logs into the system again, so he doesn't want it to be temporary. He wants it to be permanent. So that for that reason, so it should not happen that when he logs off, then your access is gone and now you have to probably perform all the steps again. He wants to maintain that access. So for that reason, he'll perform some application installation, which includes your backdoors. Then next is your hiding files. So whenever you are executing any tools or any application, so there are certain files associated with that, and you should be what we can say, aware that these files are not discoverable or they're hidden. So let's say if you install any spyware and it captures the webcam, and the what we can say, it captures your webcams, or it captures your images or something like that, whatever you're browsing or something like that, or even the keylogger which stores the keywords, which we'll see in the coming slide. So it will store that uh, key logs and everything into a file. So you should make sure that all these files are not discoverable. And last is covering tracks. So whenever you're done with your activity, and when you're done with your hacking and everything, and you have achieved your goal, then what are the logs that are maintained? So let's say if you have maintained any log file or something, because whatever activities that you're doing, all these will be logged. So let's say if you have done any whatever, like if you have installed any spyware or something like that, some of the process, or some of the other logs that are activities that are going on, those will be logged. in any of your systems. So that is why it is important that you clear your logs. Then next is password attack. So this password attacks contains the non-technical or non-electronic, as we saw in this first slide, where those are non-electronic attacks where it does not require any technical aspects. So uh, it involves their social engineering attacks. So the social engineering is also one of the section that is there separately. Uh, uh, like we have will discuss that in the details, but over here, just as a part of password cracking perspective, it is the most effective one. Why? Because you are directly interacting uh, with the what we can say with the target user, or whoever is the concerned person. So it is considered that human is the weakest link. So probably someone will try to meet them in person, or send a request, or to connect with them on the social media sites, and try to know them, and get friendly with them, and then try to probably either take password from them, or they'll have maybe get an access to their system, and then try to get that password and everything. So these are the what we can say social engineering attacks that that the attacker may perform. And other is your shoulder surfing. So shoulder surfing is your simple, like if someone is looking over the shoulder while you're typing the password, that is called as shoulder surfing. So that is why it is always recommended not to type your password when someone is looking over, or behind you. So also, like even in the ATMs right now, it is informed to cover your pin when you're typing. So this is the reason that which is known as shoulder surfing. Then your dumpster diving is there. So dumpster diving is something where sometimes what happens is someone who has just reset his password, and he has a complicated password and doesn't want to remember it right now, so he'll just write that password down. And once he's done with that, he'll probably throw that into your dumpster or your garbage bin. And at that time, the attacker can do is he can go through the that garbage bin, or dumpster, and then he'll try to look for those password. So sometimes this is a regular activity for the attacker. He'll try to go through the garbage bin. He'll try to uh, what we can say. He'll try to look for some information. Even same thing in the ATM, right? So it is recommended to throw away, even though it is does not have complete information, but it is still asked to tear up your whatever receipt or you have received. So tear up that receipt and throw it into the dumpster. So it is always recommended to do that. So this is the reason where attacker may try to look into the garbage bin or the dumpster to get the required information. Snooping around is also known as eavesdropping. So if you're, telling someone your password, that you have just reset your password, and this is the password that they have given, and someone hears you, that attacker or someone who is, having malicious intent, he is there around you, and he hears you around, and then he'll also, get that password, and uh, uh, will uh, will use it for the malicious intent. And last is guessing. So guessing is something like where if you know that person, you may try to guess his password. So sometimes people keep their relatives in the sense someone who is dear to them. So their father, mother, maybe husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend. So anyone's password, they'll just they'll use their name, their date of birth, or something like that, and they'll keep the password. So that is why it is recommended not to keep such easy password, which will be guessable for everyone. So yeah, so that is why it is always asked not to keep your easy passwords, and probably this is how the attacker may guess the password. Then next is key logging. So keylogger is one of the tool that I said, which is your process of, hardware or software application to capture your keystrokes. So if any keylogger that has been, attached or, installed into your system, so what happens is whenever you type your password, it captures the keystrokes of the user. So let's say if a keylogger has been installed onto the system, it will you try to log into your system or something like that for any account, and uh, you will enter your password. So this keylogger will capture those keywords or keystrokes and then store it into your log file, and it will directly as well send it over the email to the attacker. So that is how the keylogger works. Then other active online attacks are, directly communicating with the victim's machine. So this includes your dictionary and brute force attack, which we will see. Phishing, you must be aware of Trojans, spywares, keyloggers, and password guessing. So this is when if you are interacting directly with your target machine or victim's machine. So this is how we will do it. Then comes your LLMNR and NBT and NS poisoning. So you must be aware of your DNS working, right? So what is the functionality of DNS, how it works and everything. So basically these two are the services or components of Windows machine which were introduced during the Vista era. So along with your Windows Vista, this services was introduced. So what basically these two services are used for? They are, whenever let's say you have sent out any request for or there is some request that you have sent out for the DNS to resolve any IP and host name, and he does not have any record for that. Now, what these two services will do is they will help the DNS to broadcast it all over the network. The reason being there is probably they'll hope for someone to respond with that particular IP or that host name, because DNS does not have that record. And in that case, it will do the what we can say, it will do the broadcasting, UDP broadcasting to the whole network. Now, in the diagram, you can see that uh, the attacker will probably spoof that particular IP address or host name, and it will just inform that I am that particular person, and I am what we can say, that request can be directed to me, and then the victim will probably uh, provide passwords during the authentication process. So that is how this NBT and LLMN process or poisoning works. This is basically outdated and does not, is not being used right now. But still, in some of the, organizations where security is not been, kept at the basic and configuration is not done, properly, at that time, this will be carried out by the attacker. Then there are some tools for password attacks. So those tools like uh, Medusa, Hydra, NBN Spoof, Puppy, Metasploit, and Responder. Responder is something which is your uh, used for the one that we saw, uh, LLMNR and NBTNS attack. So Medusa, Hydra, Metasploit, all these tools you will get it on the Kali Linux itself. So uh, yeah, if you have installed Kali, we'll find it. You can do your own R&D. We'll see one of the tool, that is Jack the Ripper. We'll go through that tool. But if you want to do your own R&D and you want to explore it on your own, you can do that. Then there are some services and protocols that are present which sends passwords or data onto the using clear text. So these are the services which do not use encryption. So these services are FTP, Telnet, SMTP, HTTP, POP3, IPM, IMAP 4, version 4, NetBIOS, SNMP, and SQLite. So it is not recommended to use it, and some of the services have their own now advanced or encrypted services as well. So instead of FTP, we do have SSH right now, which uses port 22. Then instead of HTTP, we have HTTPS, which uses port 443, and as well as with SNMP, we have version 3 as well, which now uses encrypted data, or encrypted protocol to transfer the data. So for HTTP, it is always now recommended that any application that is over the internet, it should not be using HTTP or port 80. Highly vulnerable. It is not at all recommended to use. You can use any other customized port, and just you have to use the SSL certificate. Then comes your offline password attack. So this is when the attacker or the hacker steals a copy of the password, uh, which is your, it may be your plain text or the hash, and does the cracking on a separate system. So it will gather the copy and store it onto a separate system. So this contains your one of the attack is dictionary attack. So dictionary attack uses a word list to attack the. So what it will do is basically it will contain a list of passwords which is known as your word list or your dictionary, and it will combine it with the password file that the attacker has obtained. So basically it will combine that particular dictionary file with your file, and it will check if it is matching or not, and if it matches, then it will return with that result. So basically, this is kind of matching with the password dictionary file that you already have with the one that you want to crack. One of the most popular example of word list is text file that is rocku.txt, which contains this many of unique passwords. And this file is basically present uh, onto your Linux machines as well. It is by default over there. It is somewhere in the user share folder. Not exactly, I don't remember exactly, but it is somewhere in the user share folder. And you can also download it if you want it. You can just Google it and you will find it. You will have that 50 MB plus file, which contains all the password list. However, you can generate your own word list as well. So, probably just to minimize the area of attack. So if you have any information about the passwords, that it contains only 8 letters or something, and it uses a combination of just symbols and letters, and it does not have any numbers, or it has combinations of the symbols and letters, and or combination of letters and numbers, and does not have symbols. So all this you can just provide and create your own list as well. So there are tools which is CWL and Crunch. Uh, Brute force is another type of attack which you might have heard. So uh, this is when it tries each and every combination. It is based on permutation and combination, and it will try to crack password using those method. Obviously, this is a very time-taking process, because combining each and every combination is obviously bit time-taking process. If the attacker is it has larger goal, and it is something which is he's determined to do that, and it is where he'll try to perform some kind of big uh, he's probably determined, and he has some uh, backing up for that. So probably he'll do is have a high CPU and CPU processor, at its system, and he'll try to perform all that combination, and try to crack that password. Obviously, it may take days, months, or even years to crack that password, but um, it can be done faster if he knows any certain parameters, like the one that I told you regarding the length and combination. Hybrid attack is also somewhere which is quite successful method if you know if you want to try it. So basically in dictionary attack, let's say if he has any a keyword which is, let's say, orthodox is the password that he has kept and that is present in your dictionary. So if it easily matches, it will return. But what this hybrid attack will do is it will probably try to what we can say perform uh, brute force as well. So it will combine brute force and dictionary attacks. How is it will probably replace that orthodox O with zero as well. So somewhere if I've used it, password in such a way where instead of O I have used zero and instead of A I have used at the rate. So such combinations it will also try. If I've kept any of such password, maybe dictionary attack may not able to crack it because I have used this kind of combination. So hybrid attack will be able to do that. Then comes your rainbow table. So rainbow table is the one where it matches your uh, pre-hashed keywords and compare it with your password hash. So actually it is just comparison for your hashed password. So somewhere it will this rainbow table will contain similar to dictionary attack. It will contain a hash file and it will combine with the hash file that is of the password. And basically if it matches, it will return. Then there are these password attacks. So other tools like tools for CIL tools. So Jack the Ripper that John the Ripper, sorry, John the Ripper that I told you. So we'll check those one. We'll try to run that and try to see how it works. And then there is Hashcat. So it is used with the hash modes for the OSS documents, password managers, etc. Kind of what we can say sophisticated attack tool and can be used as well. It is also available on your Linux. Then there are other tools for password cracking. So can enable is one of the password tool which does the sniffing of packets. So let's say if you are into one of the what we can say network, you're inside the network and you run this can enable, and anyone who is using FTP, you will find the password for them. So whenever you're if someone is trying to log into FTP, you will easily get their FTP password because it is transferred into the plain text. So this is one of the helpful tool. Lopcrack is a paid software. It extracts and crack hashes and it uses brute force and dictionary attack. Same comes with the Opcrack. So it is open source, free open source tool, and it cracks Windows login password by using LM hashes through Rainbow table. So it will have its own hash table, and it will use LM hashes. So that is what I'll tell you in the next slides. So it is helpful for cracking those Windows passwords. Then your rainbow crack. So again that same rainbow table attack it will do just that. It will generate rainbow tables. Legion is for NetBIOS. So it is a password guessing tool. It will scan multiple IP ranges for Windows and Windows shares, and also offers manual dictionary cracking tool. So the one that I told you, right? You can generate your own uh, passwords, sorry, your own dictionaries, and it will create a word list for you, and then you can perform the uh, password guessing tool, password guessing mechanism. Kerberos is something I'll explain you what Kerberos is, and Kerb crack is used for cracking those Kerberos password. Mimikatz is another tool which will steal credential and escalate privileges. So escalate the privilege escalation I told you, right? So this is what it will do is this tool will do. And PWDump 7 and FGDump, it will dump SAM database on Windows machine. So SAM file you must be aware of. So SAM file is where your passwords are stored, and this will dump your SAM databases and run according to this, those SAM database, whatever that database that have, which stores their password, and it will run against your password file. Fine. So moving on to the SAM, I told you, right, security account manager is a database file that is present onto your Windows machine and stores your credentials of your local system. So it stores user passwords and in a hashed format, that is LM hash and NTLM hash. Because the hash function is one way, this provides some measure of secure for storage of password. So it is just one way and it cannot be decrypted backwards. So that is why it is called as one way hash. And it basically is stores for hind. Uh, etc shadow is used for storing the Linux password. So hashed passwords are stored onto that location, and SAM is stored onto your what we can say, on your Windows folder, then Windows System 32 and config. So if you have stored your password and if you have kept your password, this file will be present over there. So what we'll do is we'll run the tool right now, that is Jack the Ripper, and see how it works.
Sir, your screen is not visible.
Yeah, yeah. Mm, I'm resharing it. I'm just entering the passwords. So resharing it. So if you have installed your Kali, so over here you will find the tools that I told you, right? Kavil is there, Crunch is there. Probably this will be where you have those what we can say, details over here. You can probably provide some uh, what we can say, combinations, and probably you can get those what we can say, dictionary file. Same with the other tool as well. That is uh, Crunch. Again, probably we'll just need to provide the what we can say, over here they have given, right, minimum and maximum. So minimum length and maximum length, and probably they'll create a dictionary file for you. So you just try out this tools, and see you can what result you can do, and you can then probably you can discuss those. So we'll see this John the Ripper. Okay. What over here we have done is we have kept test file. Okay, this is your username and this is the password. Fine. We have provided that into a text file. and we have to just run the command so that it will against this user it will crack this password. I have provided over here this this command for this. We have to just run this. So what this is mean, it will just run a single search for this. Okay, it has we have used John hyphen hyphen single hyphen hyphen format equal to raw hash raw this one SHA-1. So we have the hash that we have is SHA-1, and then we have given the destination folder file name. Okay, just hold on. It has two passwords, that is why. Okay. Let's try to run this. Why it is not no password left to? Okay, probably this is because it has already cracked the password. Is it not loading? Let's try this one. This is where I told you, right? This is the word list that we have, rocku.txt. So that is present in your either Linux system as well, or you can download it. So let me try that one, because this I already know this should work. I'll need to check why is it not working. I guess because this has already cracked the password, so that is why it is showing. Otherwise, it returns with the this hash password. You can try this on your system. Probably let me know if it works, because I have done this and it has already cracked the password. So that might be the reason. Let's see if the other one is working. Such folder directory. Okay. Oh, let me
So
see.
there should be an equal to after format.
Okay. Let's do okay. I guess this is because it has already cracked the password. Let me try the no such file or directory. Okay, do one thing. I'll share this with you. Okay. I'll share in the chat as well. So just go through your in the Kali itself. Probably, I'm pretty sure you'll able to find it and get the result that is desired result. Uh, why this is in this format? Just hold on. Because it may be because I've already cracked the password. That is why it is showing me this error. But try it to your own once. Let me know if you have any doubts. Okay. We'll move on
Okay,
to the
sir.
next one. So basically authentications, there are three types of authentications. So something which you are, something which you have, and something which you know. This we have already seen in the first lecture. So basically, something which you are means your, biometrics, your retina, fingerprint, anything, and which it is associated with you. So also it has some downsides like false negative, so false acceptance rate. So these are all there, which are errors that are present. But somewhat this is a secure one because it scans your retina, it scans your fingerprint, etc. Uh, and there are two types of authentication in this. One is active, which requires interaction, that is your retina scan or finger scan, and one is passive, which does not require interaction. It is iris scan. So it is all different. Usually we don't need to get into those details. Just you have to remember that the three types of scanning types are where something your means your which is something associated with you, retina, fingerprint, anything biometric validation. I mean, in short. Something you have is, your swipe badge, your ATM card, some kind of token or something like that. Uh, that is something that you have, and it usually requires something along with that. That is your PIN or your, some kind of code that you have to present. Not necessarily it is always there. So whenever you go into office and you have your batches, so you just need to scan that swipe batch. But usually if it is something more secure part like ATM card, it will come with an pin. And something is obvious, of course, your password. Of course, and now it is very important to have, two-factor authentication. You must have heard about MFA, that is your multi-factor authentication. So usually now, once you have, let's say if you're ordering from Amazon and you have, ordered it and you have entered the CVV number, and then once you place that order, one OTP will also come. Why? That is because of your multi-factor authentication. Because someone may try to, steal your CVV number. It has got access to everything. But for that additional security purpose, they have added on to now your CVV as well, or your OTP as well. So it comes, as an additional security factor. So and then comes your strength of password. So now, as I told you, right, it is important that you don't have your password very simple or which is very guessable. You have to keep it complex, and not only by just length, but also with the combinations that it has. So that is why it is important that you have your passwords secure and complex. And yeah. It should be combination of your lowercase, uppercase, number, symbols, etc. Uh, and the last part is your default password. So whenever you have, you and enter into your system and everything, it is important that your default passwords are never left as it is, and they should be changed as soon as you log in. Uh, there are certain databases, that is cert.net, default-password.info, and opensays.me. These are the database. You can go check it out. They'll have this list of default passwords. Coming to Windows architecture, so authentication credentials are stored in SAM file. You can go, as I told you, right, system32 config. You will find that SAM file. And older system use LM hashing. Now we have currently NTLM hashing, which is MD5. So more secure hashing is done, which is always a one-way hashing. Windows Network Authentication use Kerberos. Kerberos, what is that? I'll tell you in the coming slide. So I'll tell you, explain you what exactly is LM hashing. So LM hashing is something which will split your password up. If it is, oh, but yeah, of course, it has to be uh, over 7 characters. So let's say if it is 14 characters, then it will, uh, uh, what we can say, it will break that 14 characters into two. So let's say one section hash will be this part and the other will be what we can say, because if your what we can say, if your file uh, that it is storing, if it is broken into two sections, it will be very difficult for the attacker to crack that, basically the password. That is the reason that the password is split up into 7 characters. Of course, now you'll say that what if my password is less than 7 characters? Then in that case, the other section. So if you have password with 8 characters, so in that case, what it will do is it will have hash of first 7 characters, then one character will be in the second half, and the remaining it will be kept blank, or it will add just this random value. So you can see this, right? AAD3. So this will be your by default for the blank section. So if you just have, even if you are 7 characters, it will have one section which is your main password, and the other section will be your this default one, that is your blank. Okay, and this NTN directory, so that is where it is concerned regarding your Active Directory. So this is where all your in the Active Directory where all the users password are stored. Then coming to Kerberos for AD, so this is very important when as a part of security person, and whenever you will give your maybe exams or even interviews, it is very important to know this Kerberos authentication method. So basically, this is a ticketing system tool. So this is how it works whenever you are providing an authentication for your server. So it uses this ticketing mechanism, and this is how it will work is probably when the client will ask for a key distribution center for ticket. This is sent in the clear text. It will go to your Windows domain controller. The server will respond with a ticket granting ticket, so TGT, plus a session key is also there into there along with it. This is a secret key which is hashed by a password copy stored on the server. So it will this will be a secret key which is hashed, and it will it will be stored onto your server, and it is then provided to the client who is requesting that. If the client can decrypt it, the TGT is sent back to the server requesting a ticketing granting service ticket. So what do you mean by if the client can decrypt it? Basically, client will have your public key. This is, it will send it using a private key. Uh, will understand it in the encryption and algorithm process, sections. But just to understand it, the client will have its own public key which is provided by the certificate authority, and over here it should match it with in. So basically whenever it is private key is provided by the domain controller, it will send their own private key, and then it has to be decrypted by the client using the public key. Then if whenever it decrypts it, the the TGT, that is the ticket granting ticket, that is sent to the server requesting a ticket granting service. Now I have decrypted it. Here is my ticket that you have sent me. Now please grant me service for that. Now based on that ticket, it will grant the service, and it will allow it for the authentication to work. Server then sends the TGS service ticket which client uses to access the resources. So basically you take an example of kind of, you let's say metro, where it will provide a ticket for you, and then you can access the once you have paid for that particular ticket, then you can access your metro. Just over here, mechanism is bit different, where you have to as an authenticator, you have to decrypt that particular key, and once you have decrypted that key, the server will provide you service request ticket, and based on that you can access the resources. Now the tools to basically what we can say to crack these passwords are curb sniff, curb crack. So curb sniff is something where the attacker will place himself in the middle of this in this process, and it will act as mediator, and all the requests will go through him, and because of that he will be the one who is accessing the resource directly without authentication. So he'll place himself in the middle of this process. He'll probably, if you're sending these tickets in plain text or something like that, he will probably grab that and sniff your passwords. Curb crack is something where it will just do the brute force. Then comes your Linux security architecture. So you some if you are using this, you must be aware of that. What are the basic files that are present and everything, similar to our Windows. So uh, uh, Linux root is just a slash. So once you have provided slash, it's the root directory. Then your bin has your basic Linux commands. Uh, /dev contains pointer locations to various storage and input output systems. So your whatever your external internal storage devices, those will be stored onto your dev. etc will contain configuration files and passwords and administrator files. Both the password and shadow files are here. Shadow files, you mean hashed files. Home is your user home directory. uh, MNT is something where your access locations are mounted, uh, and SYS is your virtual system. SBN is system binary folders, which holds more administrative commands. So you will need your sudo access for that, and whenever you want to run some administrative commands, you can run through over here. Where contains variable files. Dev is equal to obviously device files. OPT is whenever you have install your third-party applications which are not from system applications. Those are run and installed into your OPT. Temp is obviously temporary folder. Lost plus found is something which you recover broken files. And USR user is this which holds all the information, commands and files unique to the user. Covert data gathering. So keyloggers, as I told you, are where it will whenever you enter your password or something, your basically keystrokes are recorded, and it will either send onto your systems over the network, or it will be sent to your email. Either it will be stored locally or it will be sent over the email. A sophisticated keylogger, or if you have generated or designed one, it will send it over the email. They are associated with spyware, which helps to transmit your information to unknown third party. So there is one keylogger tool, that is Ardamax. So Ardamax will basically capture your webcam activities. It will capture your keywords, keystrokes, and it will also capture the sites that you have screens also, like whatever you're looking onto, everything it will capture, and it will send it over the email. Okay. Now this is something which which is very easy to detect. It will be easily detected by the virus. It won't allow it to install. So what, as this is something, either you should have access to that system where you can then turn off the virus, antivirus, or particularly exclude that file. Then that you can do. Otherwise, second thing is, basically that is what is difference between a script kiddie and a black hat hacker, who will generate, or he'll create his own script and then probably do the same functionality, because it is a script that is you're running. uh, so chances are the virus won't catch it. So this is what the difference is. But the if you have access, and if the attacker has the access and he is able to what we can say, uh, if he can evade his virus, his log keylogger as as virus, then probably it will also help for him. And basically there are two types of keyloggers. One is hardware, one is software. So hardware are the ones which you can install directly onto your CPU or BIOS systems, and it will record your keys. External devices are also there. It will be using your Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. So those are also there. Again, but you will need to place it onto your onto that environment. However, they are a bit easy to detect, because sorry, easy to evade, because there is no antivirus or something like that that it will catch. So a bit easy. Software are based on the application kernel and hypervisor based, and from the grabbing record. So it will grab records from uh, web form data. And here are some of the tools, which is Key Carbon, Keyboard Logger, Key Ghost. If you try to download it, it will obviously be detected by your antivirus, and it will not allow you to run. However, uh, uh, if you don't have if you try to install it on one of your VM, just for the sake of learning, you can do it. Spyware is something, again, you must have got the idea. So it is watching users action and logging them without the user's knowledge. So basically something where it will hide your it will monitor the activities running on the system, and it will send it over the email. Obviously you can this is also done for the, what we can say, good users also. So if you want to do the child monitoring, so if your kid at home and if you want to monitor what activities he's doing, you can obviously all do that. Otherwise, as an attacker, obviously he'll do it for his own purpose. Now, and basically it hides it, processes, files, and other objectives. So it won't even be visible when you're looking for it. So if you try to look into the process, you won't be able to see it. You can also see these spywares as well, whenever, if you're trying to visit any illegal third-party tools which is not secure. So let's say even if you go onto the torrent websites, you'll see a lot of pop-ups are there. And these pop-ups are basically your, what we can say, these pop-ups are just your uh, spyware itself. You try to install it, it will, maybe steal all your passwords, and it will install all kind of spywares onto your system. These are the tools which is Spyagent and Power Spy. These tools will install. These are the tools that you can install on your target system. Uh, I'm not sure if this is completely legal or not because it is not allowed, at least in our country. But yeah, you can do it. MSPy and USB device, USB DView is also one of the tool which monitors and analyzes. So whenever you go onto your cyber cafe and you install your USB device, you can probably see this tool has been installed, so that it has the record what kind of data is being transferred. In some of the even organizations also, if where it is allowed to install ESP, this tool is installed. Okay. What are the methods to save yourself from keyloggers and spywares? Restrict physical access to system. Don't give your systems to anyone. Use pop-up blocker. So yesterday we saw one VA, right? When we were scanning my local system, it was showing absence of click jacking. So if you have installed click jacking, anti-click jacking, so even if you come across any pop-ups, it will directly block it. So you have to use those anti-click jacking, uh, anti pop-up blocker. Then you have to avoid you opening any of the junk mail. You can see if you go to your spam folders, you will see lucrative mails, and probably it will tempt you to click on that. But you should avoid it because most of the times it is keyloggers and spywares. There are also some anti-key logging tools like Gemini Anti-Logger. Other tools are also there. Obviously, you have to always keep and update your systems. Then you have to recognize email phishing. So phishing email, we have a session as well on that, so you can understand those. Host based IDS is also there, which intrusion detection system. So there are two types of that. One is network, one is host based. So host based will monitor your all the system activities, and you'll also have to avoid the automatic form filling password manager. So if you use the password manager, so it will help you to encrypt and it will avoid the leakage of your password. And also using a virtual keyboard. So if you sometimes if you are what we can say, if you feel that you have mm you have been victimized, or keylogger is present on your system or something, you can just use your virtual keyboard. Hiding files. So this is one of the method if you want to hide your exe file behind your txt file. So how you can do it is, probably you need to open your cmd over here, run as administrator. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll go to the don't have exe over here. Downloads, is there any exe? Necessary exe. Okay, fine. I'll plain text is there. Okay. What we'll do is we will go to this particular directory. This is blank. Okay, 0 KB. I went over here. I have created. I already have a file. Let's say type over here. Well, I have saved it. Now, what I have to do is I'll have to see the file, and now tr, sorry, tr. The plain text file size is 11 KB. Okay. Now I have to type this. So what I'll have to do is type -c, c colon, sorry. So we'll type c colon. Now over here my exe is there, so I'll try to give which one, ss, let's say an ss. Wait, not an ss, this one will try. Exe. And then I'll enter, then plain text. This has binded it. Let's see if the size is changed. See, the size changed from 11 KB. Over here it was 11 KB. Now the size just changed to, I guess, 4 GB or something like that, or 41 MB. It should be 41 MB, I guess. So you have, so whenever you want to hide this file, you can just perform this, this kind of trick. So basically, it hides uh, your application behind your notepad file. So whenever if someone tries to open that particular txt file, in the background it will directly run that exe file. Okay, then steganography. So steganography is something where it is also one of the method of what we can say, uh, hiding behind any image. So basically in this, an image will be there, and behind that image you can pass on to your what we can say, your messages or something like that. So uh, let's say if you have let's do the practical for that itself. So we have a tool called as quick stego. Okay, now this tool we will load an image. Let's go to pictures. We have this. Okay, now this is your picture. Now I have typed over here my text. Okay, and now what I'll do is I'll save the image. I'll save it in the music. Okay, you can also save the text as well. Write text, sorry, now again I'll have to save. I did not hide that. Now I have hidden the text behind this image. Now if you go into the pictures, sorry, musics, it will open like a normal image file. You won't be able, so if I transfer it to you and if you're not aware, you will just see it as normal image. There won't be even a slight difference. Now somewhere now if you have to transfer the image to the end user should have the same tool, then it will just open this and you can see the password. So sorry, not the password, so the text behind this. So that is how this steganography basically works. Fine. So these are the other tools that uh, that are used for steganography. Quick Stego is one of the easier one. There are also, one way to identify it is there are, if the image is larger. Now we have just stored it, simple two line, two words, something line. So, but if there is any high, high, what we can say, high text or something like that, it will have larger size. So the size changes, and there might also be some color changes as well if it is because the format and everything changes. So there are few ways to identify it. One of the ways, obviously, the size. Let's see the size over here is different or not. I don't think there will be much difference. It is 1.64 MB. It is different. See, just 113 KB. Even with the two lines, it is changing its size. So size is one of the important factor to easily identify if there is some steganography or some hidden message behind the image. Rootkits are there, as I told you, right? Whenever the attacker wants to stay in the system, he'll install a rootkit and he'll place it into the compromised system, and because of this, he will be present into the network all the time. Okay, he'll hide the processes and files, and it allows him for future access, as I told you. These are some of the examples. Avatar is one of their horse file is there. It is a Linux kernel rootkit installed inside the initiated. Grayfish, it is Windows one. So it injects in the boot record. Azazel is there. Necrosis is one of the widely used rootkit. So it has different level. So hypervisor level, rootkits that modify the boot sequence of a host system to load a VM as a host OS. So basically, it will modify the boot sequence. So whenever you restart your system, there will be a boot sequence, and if you modify that boot sequence, the attacker can make use of it and have its own sequence, as which will allow him to be there into that system even when the system is restarted. Hardware, obviously, as I told you, similar to hardware keylogger, this will hide behind your device or something. It will be attached into your system, and it will allow, it is not easy to detect since it is, attached onto the hardware because there is no antivirus for that. Um, Bootloader level, it will replace your current boot level loader with the one that is controlled by the hacker. Application level, obviously, where we saw that, where it will associate with its applications similar to what we saw with that notepad one, right? If someone clicks that notepad, it will directly open it, as in the background it will execute that particular application. Kernel level is similar to what we discussed in the hyper level. So this is the most dangerous one, however, because then anything that happens at the kernel level will immediately crash your system. Library level uses your system levels to hide themselves, and one way to detect rootkits is to map all the files of a system and then boot a system from a clean CD version and compare the two file systems. So if you want to check if you have been compromised or was there any rootkit installed, so you have to map all the files of a system and then boot system from a clean CD version. Clean CD version means completely new OS, and it will you can compare it if there are any modifications to the files. So that's it, guys. This took a bit longer than usual because of the starting mishap. Just let me know, like, try to keep the interactive session. So it will be interesting for you as well. And if something like this happens, it will be easy to understand. You have any questions?
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, for Nmap, I have tried all the scans and all this OS detection scan and all those things, but actually I have downloaded the VM, means I have downloaded the Windows 10 virtual machine.
Okay.
So I have scanned the IP address and all those, but means I didn't get any proper results and all, like open ports and all those things.
Mm, you tried all the methods?
Yes, sir. Mostly means like all the scans like stealth scan, version scan, script scanning, and OS detection scan. All those I have tried, but I didn't get anything.
And not a single port you are able to see.
No, sir.
You check the connectivity, like because there is settings in the VM part. Do one thing, try with your local system as well. Check for the network connectivity. Network connectivity in the sense your VM has that network part, like components where it should be, not isolated system. It should be able to interact with it should be in the same network.
Okay,
Check that
sir.
setting once. Check if you are able to get result of the host, the one that you're hosted, right? Not the VM one. Check if you get the result for the hosted one
Okay, sir.
and let me know. Okay then. Fine. Let's connect next week. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.